and recited everything that they were doing. And that
our defense budget was $1.2 trillion. Trillion in a $3 trillion budget. Can you imagine all that? We have the strongest Air Force in the world. You know what the second strongest Air Force is? The United States Navy's Air Force. Do you believe that? Unbelievable. We've had 13 years of war in Afghanistan. 13 years. $3 to $4 trillion spent in that part of the world. We have to bring the troops home. The war's over. Let's bring them home and take care of them when they come home. We have to take care of those soldiers. And we don't want any more troops in 2015. No more soldiers in Afghanistan. What about our friends in Detroit who are bankrupt? Where is Detroit? What country is Detroit in? It's amazing to think how much money we're spending over there. And another thing about it too is, you start thinking about, after the $90 billion, what do? They cut our food stamps. They cut unemployment. They cut job training. It's unbelievable how many cuts they make. Now, what we can do about this is, as our friend Tip O'Neill says, all politics is local. Now the local military spending. What do we have a mile from here? You won't believe it. A biolab. A biolab that will have a big vote in the City Hall this Wednesday, the 16th, 4 o'clock, because it's level 4. Level 4 of the biolab. They're going to have pathogens, the Pentagon. Believe it. 1918 flu. And so we want everybody to show up at the City Hall, 4 o'clock. Cornelia has some flyers. We have to get it voted down by the City Hall to protect our town. Thank you very much.
I'm Michael King from the Grace actually needs no introduction.
That's right. Everyone knows Grace.
How's everybody doing out there? I can't hear you. Bank of America?
Bad for America.
Bank of America?
Bad for America.
All right. So we are here to say today that our government's budget should be a moral budget. Someone much wiser and smarter than me pointed out that a government's budget is a moral statement, or I suppose at this point we could argue an immoral statement. And it's really, really important that we start feeling like this is our government again. And the only way we're going to get there is to stand up, speak out, insist on being seen, and make it clear again that this is supposed to be a government by, of, and for the people. Now we know from, there's a fabulous book out that I can't unfortunately remember the name of, but that looked at polling data, going back in time, looking at the opinions of the American people. And at the time that they first did this, we, in our general opinions, compared to the votes of Congress, we were getting about 40% of the votes our way. Now it's down to 10%. So our opinions are clear. We want to make sure that we have a society that takes care of each other, that has enough jobs for people to get by, that makes sure that people who don't have jobs have a minimum income that's sufficient to survive. We know that we want to stop spending money hurting people in other countries and bring that money home. Because we stand for people, not for profits. We stand for families, not for corporations. That's why I'm very proud to be here today. In this country, do not pay their taxes. The system is based on a lie. They have told us a lie. The narrative is no money to help people. There is no money to build schools. This is a lie. We need to, there is money. We need to stand together and say that there's a different system that can happen. A system based on love and compassion. A system based on people and families.
a system based on transparency and fairness. We can do that. We can change the narrative and change the system. The system needs to be changed. What do we want? Justice. When do we want it? Now. What do we want? Justice. When do we want it? Now. What do we want? Justice. When do we want it? Now.
Fair share. I just paid my income tax on what considered median income, okay, really, just under median. And I paid, after deductions, 15% to the feds. But that's income tax. We pay other stuff, okay?
Yes.
All right, my daughter-in-law has a number of degrees in finance, and she works as a financial manager for a nonprofit. In a very exasperated voice, she told me, I don't understand what all this bickering is about, the budget and the deficit. Cut the military. End of discussion.
Cut the military. Bring the boys home.
The list was only about 500. And talking about the military, don't forget, one piece of the defense budget, don't cut. I want $500 billion put towards roads and bridges and rebuild our infrastructure. Those big highway system was built for national defense, and that is national defense. And I won't upstage Michael, but there's a crisis here in Boston, in Massachusetts, that 5,500 families are about to lose their housing from under Massachusetts 13A. And that's because HUD, I mean, there are problems with it, but why they're about to lose it is because the feds, HUD, cut the piece that would help bridge the gap so that it would be affordable for those families to stay. And that's because
My name's Phyllis Evans, and I'm a community activist. I belong to Fund Our Communities, cut military spending 25%. I worked along with the Budget for All to get this on the ballot as a referendum question. Not to cut any social services, protect jobs and create new jobs, which is so important. There's so many people unemployed still. Make the rich and corporations pay their fair share of taxes, and cut the Pentagon spending by 25%. There's so many people, I feel like we're climbing up a slippery slope being a person of color. We have made a lot of breakthroughs in the 60s, but it seems like a lot of those things are being taken away from us, and we can't afford to have this happen because it's crazy. People need to live, people need jobs, people need things, poor people need things just like everyone else. I think the Pledge of Allegiance says, liberty and justice for all, not liberty and justice for the few. We need to make sure that these people pay their taxes. They amass all this money in this beautiful country of ours. You'd think they'd be willing to give back to us. If they paid just a portion of their income, the billionaires and millionaires, I don't think there would be a deficit. If we had a deficit, it would be very small. But instead, they're so greedy, they are outsourcing their jobs. They know the people in our country are suffering, and they are outsourcing jobs for greed. They need to come back and do the right thing, but they don't have any compassion. These are people with no compassion for their own people, and I think it's a crime, and they're the ones that should be in prison, not our young men, people of color. Disproportionate amount of our people of color in prisons. Some are sitting in those prisons for no reason. They can't afford bail. They don't have the right representation. And they're sitting in prisons. The real criminals are people like the back. And get Congress people trying to let them know what the community people need and want, trying to get a message across to them, because they're the ones that are important. We have to get message to them. But a lot of them just give us a runaround too. We'll go and speak with one of their staff people, their regional directors, but we need to speak to them directly to let them know to take a message to Congress. Justice, no peace. No justice, no peace.
Thank you, Phil.
Brian, the CEO of Bank of America, he's the responsible guy. That's why they're not paying their $4.2 billion in taxes. Brian Moynihan, CEO, corporate tax chief's got to go. Brian Moynihan, CEO, corporate tax chief's got to go. Brian Moynihan, CEO, corporate tax chief's got to go. Brian Moynihan, CEO, corporate tax chief's got to go. So next I'm going to bring up Nancy from Public Bank Working Group.
I'm here to tell you, Bank of America is bad for Boston. Guess where your money is? Guess where Boston's tax dollars go? Bank of America, Citizens Bank, and U.S. Trust, a subsidiary of Bank of America. In 2008, Bank of America cut its small business lending 98%. And I'm here to tell you there is an alternative. Move our tax money to community banks that support our economy, our community development, job creation, and small business. Yes. And as a partner to a community bank, we are advocating for a public bank. The Help Public Bank would be the depository for all our tax dollars, would charge much lower rates. It is not a commercial bank. You don't put your savings in there, but you partner with a community bank where you would. So please pay attention. Tell your city council folk, move our money, our money. Thank you.
You're guilty. What? You're guilty. What? You cheat. You lie. You ain't got no alibi. You're guilty. What? You're guilty. What? You of America, bad for America. Bank of America, bad for America. Bank of America, bad for America.
Bank of America.
That's right.
Yeah. We're living in a time nowadays where there's 45 million people that are in poverty.
Yes.
But yet and still, Bank of America gets tax breaks.
Yep.
That's an economical disparity.
Yes.
Bank of America, bad for America. We're living in a time right now where prisons are being built and cuts to social spending are happening.
Right.
We need to unite in solidarity. We need to stand tall for the marginalized. We need to be the voice for the voiceless. Because we're living in a time now where injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. So that's all.
VOA, pay your taxes. VOA, pay your taxes. VOA, pay your taxes. VOA, pay your taxes. VOA.
The Worcester Unemployment Action Group and the Worcester Anti-Foreclosure Team.
Right.
This bank is one of the #1 criminals on foreclosure, and it is not over, and we are fighting back and winning. And this bank is a symbol for the corporations and the billionaires that are getting out of paying. We don't know how much, maybe $500 billion a year. If we could get them to pay their fair share, if we could close our 1,000 foreign bases and bring the troops home, we could easily put the 40 million unemployed, I say 40, not 10, 40 million unemployed, put them back to work.
Good job. They are lying to us about the unemployment rate. They are lying to us about the economic recovery. They are lying to us about this story about job creators. They are doing nothing about real job creation. We need that money that they are sitting on and gambling with. So let me leave you on a chant. What do we do when the banks attack? Stand up, fight back. What do we do when the banks attack? Stand up, fight back. What do we do when the banks attack? Stand up, fight back. What do we do when the banks attack? Stand up, fight back.
A coalition called Save Our Homes, Save Our Section 8. And that consists of City Life and SETI and Mass Alliance and my tenants. And what we're doing is getting a group of tenants around, telling them what's going on and trying to tell them how they can save their homes. We've talked to BHA President Bill McGarty. Section 8 in August of last year, I almost lost my home due to the budget cuts. This country needs to support Section 8. To move from your home to maybe an apartment or a shelter. Everyone is entitled to a comfortable home.
That's me.
That's Paul.
Well, this is great to see such a great turnout today.
Yay!
Remember, we're here not just about Bank of America.
No. Right.
Bank of America is one of several hundred companies that hide their profits offshore to reduce their taxes by $90 billion a year.
Wow. Right.
And that's only one gimmick. But we're not here just about offshore tax havens. We're here to talk about the future of our country and what's important to us.
Yes.
On Tuesday, we commemorate Tax Day, a day for us to think about how we spend our money as a country and what things are important to us. This country and this world is in danger by one of the greatest ecological catastrophes ever to threaten us.
Yes.
The warming of the planet is putting the entire world at risk. And yet we do nothing with our budget to immediately transform over to a renewable energy system.
Right.
We continue to give tax breaks to fossil fuel companies. We allow coal companies to blow up our mountains in order to get fuel, which is destroying our planet. We have a Pentagon budget that is greater than the budgets of the next 10 largest military countries on Earth.
Oh my God.
Combined! That military is the greatest single producer of fossil fuel emissions on Earth. And what is its main function?
What?
Guaranteeing our access to fossil fuels.
Boy, he's fired up.
What type of insanity is this that is coming out of our nation's capital? We will not put up with this anymore. We put those guys in the United States Congress on notice.
Yes.
Get your act together. Stop your idiocy and put the country's money where it is needed right now.
Right now. Sorry.
No more fooling around.
No more fooling around. Woo!
What insanity that we have millions of people unemployed in this country. What insanity that we have millions of others who are working at a wage that isn't enough to live on. What type of craziness is this? We will not put up with this anymore. Please join all of us. At 2 o'clock, we'll be going over there as a group to listen to 2 congresspersons that are willing to stand up for us, who just voted for the budget for all in Congress. You will hear other great speakers, Bill King. You will hear people that are organizing to save people's homes, to save people's jobs, to try to stop climate change. These are people that are working hard for this country. We have a chance to hear all of them. So let's stick together. We have to continue to work together as we continue to work on our own individual issues. And we have to come together and make one loud cry that the people in Washington, D.C. cannot ignore any longer. Thank you very much. Let's hang in there.
Will never be defeated. The people united will never be defeated.
Officials and say it's time to tax wealth. It's time to tax
wealth.
The 1% have to pay their fair share, and so we need to move that. The second thing is we need a strong union movement, higher standards for wages and benefits, and a full employment economy. Tax the 1% and invest in a full employment economy. Thank you. No more cuts. Tax the 1%. No more cuts. Tax the 1%. Okay.
We in ACT UP try our best to represent the needs of people living with HIV in this state. But we are more than that. Our needs are the same as the needs of all poor and working people who are impoverished in this state.
Let's try, hey, BOA, how many bucks did you steal today? Hey, BOA, how many bucks did you steal today? Hey, BOA, how many bucks did you steal today? Hey, BOA, how many bucks did you steal today? Okay, BOA, how many bucks did you steal today?
So like next week, or the next time it's chapter 2 and 3, and then everybody goes,
Yeah, right.
It's tipped. It's tipped. It's heavy.
Thank you.